Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
You know, I told you earlier, I felt like, growing up with your music over the years, I feel like I know you from seeing you all over TV, in those years. And now you've got a brand new album out with Imagine. How did this come about?
Not the way it normally does, through a company and, manager and agent and A&R people. Not quite. It's a family project. And so my daughter, Charlie Huggins, is the executive director. So we're moving on to the future.
Very nice.
It's going to be on her entertainment company. One of the companies is the label.
Excellent. I saw that. And you guys work together on so many good tracks on here. I listened to the entire album. It's so reminiscent to me of a lot of the great R&B hits that you've had over the years, and that were so popular. And you were really, a pioneer even in the early disco songs and everything like that. But on So in Love, now that's the song that you and your daughter worked on also, correct?
No, all of them. All of them.
Okay.
Well, because the way it came to me, it was we weren't thinking in terms of a album project or a thing, but she brought the songs to me over a period of about 3 years, one at a time. And I was saying, well, each song I said, well, I don't know if it's for me or what, So we did them. We went into the studio and I liked them. Then over a period of time, we realized we had enough songs to do an album. So I said, well, let me see how you and your Uncle Bo, her uncle, he's the executive producer, and he's been involved with all of my successful recordings over the past 30 years, I guess. Wow. And let's see if they hang together and if we actually have an album. So that's how it came about. So I said, okay, then you and Uncle Bo are going to be the executive producers. And you're going to be in charge of that part. I did my part. I sang. Sing.
Right. That really is a family project when you've got everybody involved like this, but it's got to make it a lot more fun for you also. At this point in your career, you've really got nothing to prove. I mean, with everything that you've done, and achieving, a Tony Award, with all the great things you've done on Broadway, having your own TV shows, and then being able to create an album, with your family, particularly with your daughter and everything that you feel good about. And you still got the full range. You're known for having a ridiculous vocal range, Melba. And you can still hear that on the album.
A ridiculous range. I like that.
It's just the truth. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 octave?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, that goes in the ridiculous area.
Okay.
And I wanted to inform some of our viewers too that may not know your total history, but I mean, you really got introduced to music at the tender age of 10 years old, right?
Correct. Which for singers, usually by the time you're 5 or 6, even singing around the house, if you have a voice or not. But because my family was broken, and then for the first 9 years of my life, right. I didn't know whether my mother was a professional singer, but she was gone all the time. So there was nobody to say, oh, gee, you have a wonderful voice. There was nobody there to do that. Your family is your first community.
Right.
But when she married my stepfather, who was a musician, and they worked together, and he had a son and a daughter. Now I have a sister and a brother. I have siblings. That's the first part of your little community. Mm-hmm. But it's all centered around music. And my sister Clementine, you can sing. Dennis, you can sing. But he turned out to be a piano player. And they said, oh, Melba, you have a nice voice too. That's when I first found out.
How amazing is that? And look at where it took you. Because, I think with your vocal quality also, Melba, to me, one of the things I always appreciated about it was it kind of had that gospel feel in there also, when you were singing, you kind of brought in all of your influences.
Well, that's interesting too, because I was born in Christian Catholic, and my first education was religious and Catholic. Mm-hmm. But when my mother married my stepfather, he was Presbyterian. So we went to the Presbyterian church too. Then after Presbyterian church, we snuck around to the Baptist Pentecostal church and heard the gospel music.
So you got like a little bit of all of it then.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. Well, and I know that a lot of the newer, younger artists and everything too, Melba, are still, pointing to you as a mentor and a reference. And that has to feel incredible, because I know you still end up with so many projects being brought your way.
I do.
you know, to perform and do things. What's that like at this point in your life to still be able to, you know, be healthy, perform, and yet younger artists are going, yeah, it's like Melba Moore.
Not only younger artists, I mean, you know, we have people like Mariah Carey. I could name some others who have ridiculous abilities and talents, very, very, very talented. And in some cases, musicians that are very, very, very talented. For them to come and say, Miss Moore, would you do my song? That's amazing. You know, because from their parents and now grandparents, they know how long I've been here.
Well, I've got to ask you, Melba, with the new album out, Imagine, and obviously it's already charting on the UK charts and getting ground on the US charts. You're going to be rolling out more singles from this. The first single came out last year. Will there be videos? Will there be a tour? What's your plan with Imagine?
Yes, we're working on a video now. The tour has already begun. And is being added to as we speak. There'll be a full tour. I've already been invited to come back to the UK. I've been to Baltimore. I'm going to go to Blues Alley. I'm going to go to the Hamptons. So that's my like theater crowd.
Yes. You have fans in so many different areas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my point. And they are very diverse. And the album panders to all of the different areas that I've been working in. So it's not like I decided I wanted to have a diverse album. But let me give some kudos to Janice Dempsey and Dave Pickering, her husband, who really kind of helped me express the theater side of me, the genre that is just a beautiful ballad, but you can tell, oh, that's not R&B, that's theater.
Right. And I could tell that with several of the songs. In fact, you know, one or two of the songs to my ear, Melba, even kind of had a jazzy kind of feel, which I'm a huge fan of as well.
Yes, I think you're referring to Take Her Picture Down.
Yes.
Because it has that nice beat, but it has a little, sounds like a muted trumpet.
Which I loved.
Sound, very, very, very jazzy, and it's very kind of sexy. You know, I'm thinking about you all night. You got to take her picture down. And then you got scatting and stuff. Take it down and put mine up on your wall. You know what I mean.
I love that. You know, but it really got me, you know, listening to that song. It's like you said, it's such a diverse album. It's not just in one style for you, but, you know, you've always been able to cross multiple styles of music very comfortably.
Well, eventually I have. I think because I majored in music education and vocal education, one of the things I learned was if you don't know it, you could study, you could at least try to learn. Not everybody's voice and talent is adaptable to everything, but you can study it and you can enjoy it even if it's not something you want to perform. And I think what has happened is I've discovered that I can be diverse by looking at and then focusing on and then trying and seeing, examining my voice. I mean, you know, the way it works.
Right.
Can I make that sound? Can I make that sound? You know, experimenting with the sounds, I've become diverse.
Well, and also from being on stage from your Broadway time with multiple successful runs, you know, going back to Hair, it's like, you know, I think that that certainly stretches you vocally, acting, you know, all those different facets of your style and career.
But I think what you bring to my attention is because I didn't study acting before I kind of learned on the job, and being in the midst of something where now the dramatic aspect of it and the physical way of telling the story is very, 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 very important. I can't just think about the music. It's what I look like. I got to go to a certain place on the stage and with other people. Teaches me how to use the rest of my body to sing a song. And what is the type of music that they're using? You don't pick it.
Right.
So as a singer now, you're an actor.
Yeah, totally different. It's not like with this album to where you got to say, you know, and with the songs coming to you and you got to, you know, perform the songs you wanted to. Obviously in theater, the songs are set and it's like, here's what you're doing. I
made the choice, but I really had to have some input from my daughter and her Uncle Bo as to whether they were suitable for me. It's like you audition for a dramatic part. They're looking at you. They tell you if you look like the part, if you sound like the part. I needed that. I didn't want to make a decision if a song was good for me from viewing it from inside.
Right.
Because I thought, well, if they can tell me something that maybe audiences see before we put it out, I'll have that perspective to judge it and not just my own view.
Right. Yeah. Very smart, very smart. Well, I want to make sure for our viewers also, Melba, that they know where to find you on the web, social media, everything. And obviously, with the upcoming tour, with the new album out, more singles coming out and hitting the charts, and a new video, where do our viewers need to go?
Well, melbamore.com is my website. If you go on Instagram, it's at Melba, the numeral one, more. You can download it and stream it on all the digital outlets. You can, of course, go on YouTube and find out all about me as well as listen to the music. And there's probably some I don't know or I'm missing. Oh, I know Amazon.com. I heard of that. You can get it.
Definitely. Well, and I would hope also, Melba, that maybe this would come out on vinyl later this year.
I'm sure, I'm sure that we can do that because we're in charge. It's our
right.
People are asking for vinyl, so we'll probably do that.
I think this is one of those albums that, just like some of the other music you've done in the past, that would really lend itself to vinyl, putting it on and just having a nice evening with your music. I love the new album, Imagine. The legend, Melba Moore, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to tell my executive producer, my daughter, that you said it to be on vinyl.
Thank you. Tell him I suggested it. TV Guy in Nashville.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melba.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.